Hello everyone, this is Warrior Woman 91 and you're listening to You Got It. Alright, thank you for joining me, and to everyone who tuned into the last episode of the show, really appreciated that. Please feel free to continue to comment on topics and on new episodes, what you guys want to hear. I really enjoy getting your feedback, both positive and negative, especially negative because it makes me laugh. So in light of my commitment to have more than just a politically minded show this time around, I've got a brand new guest today who is an aspiring fitness trainer, and she's given me quite a few tips myself and she's had some real success at physically transforming people's lives. So she's Bailey Lynn of Bailey Lynn Fitness. Bailey, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me, Kelly.
So one of the specialties that Bailey does with a lot of her own social media, and I apologize for my squeaking chair in the background. I don't have a sound guy. There's noise in the
beeping in the alley.
It's part of the charm of this show to have weird, strange noises in the background.
It's real. It's gritty.
Yes, exactly. But one of the specialties that Bailey has, and what she does with her own social media, is she kind of goes through fitness myths and just kind of things that people say on the internet, and she goes through and debunks them. So, Bailey, what is one of the top myths about fitness and weight loss that you've seen online?
There are so many. It's hard to pick one. I will choose, because this is the one that I see on Instagram a lot, that you can spot treat weight loss. Mm-hmm. So thinking that doing ab exercises will give you abs, mm-hmm. and that doing leg exercises will make your legs smaller, and that you can get rid of fat by working different parts of your body, and that's just not how it works.
So what would you say to what would you say to people that there's a specific part of their body that they want to work out, but they're looking at these fitness trainers that are saying, you can target this area, you can target that. You're saying that's false. So what do they do instead?
I think you need to understand, the important thing to understand is that you can build muscle by doing those exercises. You can build your ab muscles. You can build your leg muscles underneath, but you're still going to have a layer of body fat on top of that. And so the biggest thing that people want is not just to have muscle, but obviously to be able to see it. And a lot of, especially women, are looking for weight loss, and that is body fat loss. And the only way you can do that is through your nutrition. The only way that you can lose body fat in certain areas is by losing body fat overall. And so some people may be more midsection heavy, some people may be more bottom heavy. It's different for everyone, but unfortunately the only way to treat those areas is to lose body fat overall.
Why do you think there's this misconception that you can target specific areas of your body for weight loss?
Because it's easier. I mean, it's easier to think. It's nicer to think, oh, if I just do crunches every day, I'm going to have abs. And again, I'm not discouraging anyone from doing these exercises. I never do, because I think strength is way more important. I think health is not just fat loss. And so building muscle is amazing. And if you want to go do exercises that build muscle, go for it. And if you really want to get into the science of it, muscle does help raise your metabolism. The more muscle you have, the more calories your body naturally burns, just in homeostasis. So there is a science to building more muscle, losing more weight, but it's not like just a month of squats is going to make your legs thinner. You're just going to build muscle underneath the body fat that you have.
So what are your thoughts on the body positivity movement? Do you think it's important to tolerate people who are too large or too small, or is that just an excuse for an unhealthy lifestyle?
I just went on a rant about this.
I will give away a little bit of my secret. I do stalk all of my guests on social media before I do the interview, so I know what they've been talking about. So
yeah, thanks for giving me another platform to talk about this. I think beauty positivity is very important. I think beauty comes in all shapes and sizes. I think beauty is subjective, and you cannot tell someone that they are not beautiful. That's your, it's an opinion. However, health is not subjective. Health is scientific. There are facts. There are ranges. Everyone's bodies are different. Everyone has different genetics, short people, tall people. And everyone's different, but there are health ranges that are scientifically proven to reduce your risk of so many diseases. And so just like morbidly obese people are at a high risk for so many health issues, so are anorexics. And when we see someone anorexic and maybe losing weight a little too fast, parents get concerned, friends get concerned. There are treatment centers for that, and they can go and get help. However, when we see people gaining weight too fast, there's a body shame to it aesthetically, but health-wise, it's not being addressed as much. And I think that that's a problem because part of a lot of the top diseases that are treated for the cause of death in the United States are obesity-related diseases. And we could save more people. People could live longer, healthier, happier lives. Not to mention our healthcare system would take a load off if people just lived healthier lives.
So one of the reasons why I brought this one up is because Gillette Venus posted an ad recently of an obese woman showing herself off in a bikini, and this is the picture I wanted you to see firsthand. First thing that comes to mind when you see this ad.
It's so hard for me because I don't think we should ever tell. It's just, it reminds me of the actually fitness clothing advertisements that I see a lot of fitness apparel websites that offer, triple XL, 4XL sizes and leggings. And my first instinct was rude and was like, oh, like, why you're just going to wear those to sit on the couch or whatever. It just assumptions about overweight people, which was just not true. And honestly, I've tried to reshape my mindset to, if we want people to be able to have resources to get healthy, we need to be able to support them and give them the resources to be healthy. And part of that is accepting your body and wearing a bikini and having the confidence to be in a bikini, and that's great. I don't think you shouldn't wear a bikini just because of the way that your body is shaped. I think it's amazing that we can supply people who are trying to get healthy with the clothes that they need to do those exercises or whatever. It depends on the message behind it. If she's encouraging young women to grow up and look like that, she is encouraging young women to kill themselves. And that sounds dramatic, but it's true. If a 16-year-old carried that kind of weight around, they could have a heart attack before they turned 30. And that's sad. And it's so, so sad. And we are trying to save people's emotions at the risk of losing their lives, like actually losing their lives. And that's what makes me really, really sad. I want you to be healthy as a whole. And I think mental health is super important. I'm really glad this lady's really happy and happy with herself. But I can almost guarantee you there are a lot of times when she has physical problems and probably emotional problems that come along with that, just because she's not treating her body the way it needs to be.
That's kind of the issue that I had with this particular ad because, and also there was a comment, there was a comment from Gillette underneath that says, quote, Venus is committed to representing beautiful women of all shapes, sizes, and skin types because all types of beautiful skin deserve to be shown. We love Anna because she lives out loud and loves her skin no matter how the rules say she should display it. My concern, I mean, I would never want to make fun of this woman for how she looks. I just get concerned because the picture does seem to be celebrating her size. And it is a double-edged sword because she shouldn't be made fun of for being that size, but she should be made aware the size is not going to be sustainable.
Right.
It's going to end up hurting her in the long run. And I agree with your point of young girls seeing this picture and thinking, well, it's okay for me to look like that or for me to even look close to that. It's not okay. It needs to be addressed from a health standpoint, not in a way of making somebody feel bad about it, but just realizing it's an issue, it's a health problem, and you need to deal with it.
I think for this particular advertisement, I wouldn't I'm okay with this because they are addressing it as beauty, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't want girls who are that size to think that they're not beautiful. And I think, obviously, like if I'm working with someone who's trying to get healthy, I want them to know that I am there for them and I respect them and I love them no matter what they look like and what size they are, from their very first day of their journey all the way until the end. No matter what kind of progress they make, no matter what they look like the next day or the next day, I'm going to be there for them, and I respect them as a person, and I love them as a person. And because this message is about beauty, I feel like I'm like a little more okay with it. If she was saying, I am healthy at this size, then I would step back and be like, well, let's talk to the entire health community, because that's not true.
Yeah, exactly. So is there a better way that you think that people, because I think you and I have a little bit of a disagreement, just because I kind of took this as, even though they didn't say it, it kind of felt like they were saying that she's okay, she doesn't have to change. And I think that while she should not be made to feel bad, she does need to make a change. So that I don't know. Do you feel like we disagree on that there? Or?
Yeah, it's hard, and it's something that I just try. I have, my gut instinct as a trainer is like, I want to make you healthy, like
exactly,
just for the good of everyone. Like I just want to make you, and I don't want to advocate. Just like I get frustrated at McDonald's commercials for peddling fast food to children. There are certain things that it's very hard for me. But having worked alongside overweight people who, and talking to them about what it's like emotionally to just live in this culture as an overweight person, telling them they're a bad influence is not going to help. I think that's probably why I'm not as aggressive on it right now, is because it doesn't do anything. This lady is sending her comments and telling her, that I could be the most sincere person in the world telling her that I want to help her, and she doesn't. It's not going to do anything. And so, it does seem kind of like a standstill sometimes.
Yeah. So, but do you think that there's possibly a better way to market? How do we draw that line between the people that are like hardcore, you need to change, and the people that are just don't advocate change at all? They're just like, this is okay. We should never ask these people to change at all.
I think one of the greatest things, I don't know if this counts, but I think one of the best things I've seen is a lot of footage or advertisements of more all different kinds of body shapes working out. Because a lot of workout clothing, a lot of workout supplies, and the stuff that you're gathering to start to get healthy, all of the advertisements are for people who are already fit. And I think that's very discouraging. I think it's discouraging.
I would agree with that
everyone.
I'm 100% on board with that one.
Yeah, because it's hard. And I don't want someone to look at, even just a pair of leggings, like, I'm really embarrassed. I don't have a pair of leggings, but I think I want to start trying to work out or do yoga. I'm going to get some leggings. And then they, go to Lululemon and their size isn't there. Or all these advertisements pop up of girls with 6-packs, and it's like, well, I'm not going to do it because I can't do that.
Yeah.
And
I don't look like that, so therefore I shouldn't try.
Right, exactly. Or like, it just makes it look impossible. And it's like, no, I wish there was more representation out there of different levels of workouts and different kinds of bodies doing different kinds of workouts. Because like I said, everyone is different. Everyone's bodies are different. And there are workouts for everybody. There are different clothes for everybody. I just think different body types is fine, but it needs to represent a healthy lifestyle. So I just think we need to be realistic about that. Kitty.
We have a little bit of a distraction with a cat that definitely is probably going to need to work out pretty soon. She's starting to develop that gut.
I got you, Bill.
What would your top 3 pieces of advice be for people who have fitness goals but are discouraged about whether it's they don't have the right clothes that fit me, or the abs look too intimidating, or they just can't seem to lose the weight or gain the muscle that they're looking for? What would if you had like 3 pieces of advice you could give to those people, what would those be?
First, I would say find something that you like to do, not necessarily what you feel like you're supposed to do, as in fads and trends.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, if you're not having fun, you are going to quit. You're going to quit so soon. If you hate running, but you're like, I heard running's how you lose weight, so I'll try to run, you're going to give up right away.
Yeah.
There's so much stuff out there. Try rock climbing, try swimming, try jogging in the sand, try weightlifting.
Doing burpees.
I always advocate burpees, but there's so much fun stuff out there to do. So find something that you love, because you're going to be way more likely to get up and do it and be consistent. And as you develop that motivation, you can start adding other things. And having a trainer helps you do the things that you don't necessarily want to do, but help you reach your goals.
What would be your advice if somebody is trying to look for ways to lose weight in a healthy way, like resources for diet, for example?
Yeah, so that's another thing I was going to say is nutrition is definitely the most important. Working out is fantastic. I'm a huge advocate for muscle and specifically for the female fitness industry to be about muscle and not about weight loss, but about maybe body fat loss and muscle gain. But nutrition is really where it's at when it comes to your health, your heart health, all of the diseases that I talked about being, at risk for obesity. It's because of nutrition. And so just changing your diet, not even adding exercise yet, can make the world a difference. There are so many conflicting resources out there. It's hard to say. Talk to a nutritionist, talk to a dietitian, a doctor.
I think that's where people get the most resistance is they have an overload of information on the internet. You look at different things, and one thing says this, one thing says that, another thing says this, and then they just say, well, I can't figure it out. I'm fine the way I am. I give up. Yeah.
Well, and, the entire food industry is against you on it. I do have a few tips for that, though. If any diet tells you to cut out one of the major food groups, and no, fast food / pizza is not a food group. Sorry. But if, say, keto, if you are supposed to be cutting out large food groups out of your diet, that poses a lot of risk. A healthy diet is a well-rounded diet. There's balance. When it comes down to it, it is not that hard. It is. I will recognize how hard it is to change. But freaking eat your vegetables. Freaking eat your fruits. Stop eating so many grains. Stop eating so many fats. But still have them. Just in moderation.
Yeah.
Whatever vegetables you're eating, if you're not eating vegetables, start eating them. And however many vegetables you're eating, double it. Eat those, and then eat the rest of your meal. I guarantee you that will start to change things. And drink your water.
There you go, guys. You have no excuse. You have to follow this. No, you don't. You don't have to listen to a word that she said, but I think that these are good, helpful tips. She's actually helped me make changes to my own diet and lifestyle, and kind of rework how to think about health and fitness, because it's not a one size fits all, no pun intended. But it's also not something that needs to intimidate or scare you.
It doesn't have to take over your whole life. That's another thing. I am a trainer, and if you look at my Instagram, it looks, I do kind of live and breathe fitness, but it's totally manageable. And the changes you have to make, it doesn't have to take over your entire life, but it will change your entire life. And that's the amazing thing about it.
All right. So, Bailey, where can people find your fitness advice, tips, videos, all of that?
I am Bailey Lynn Fitness on Instagram and Facebook, and I also have a website, BaileyLynnFitness.com, if you want to see some free exercises on there.
All right. Thank you so much, Bailey. I really enjoyed having you here. Folks, if you like this episode, especially because it's very different than what I usually talk about, please send me comments, tweet me at WorryWoman91 on Twitter. For my final shout out for the episode, because I still do this. Oh, there's so many people to shout out. I'm going to shout out at Bandler's Banter on Twitter, because I went to lunch with him on Sunday, and he's the first person that comes to mind. So give him a follow. He's really funny. Follow him on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. Bailey doesn't really do Twitter, but follow her on Instagram, Bailey Lynn Fitness. And I will see you guys on the next episode.